She's leaving the same way she came, on her tow truck. So she'll be back today though. So we're gonna get her loaded up and get her fixed today. And Project Impala will keep moving forward. She goes. See you soon. Alright, grind schoolers, now that we got the Impala out of the way, we're gonna go ahead and get the rear brakes done on the Camaro. It sounds like a freight train when I stop, I kid you not. I think since it has drilled and slided rotors and everything, the sound is amplified because I think the back brakes are bad or whatever. I've already replaced the front a few months ago or whatever. Now I'm gonna replace the back brakes. This is the easiest brake job ever. I kid you not, I kid you not. Brembo brakes really did a good job when they designed their brakes. All you have to do is replace these little pins. There's two little pins that go inside the brake caliper. You just knock those pins out, and I'll show you that in a second. Knock those pins out, pull the brake pads out, the old brake pads out, slide the new brake pads in, and it's all good to go. You also have to kind of jimmy the old brake pads back and forth, probably with like a screwdriver. You kind of want to be careful so you don't scratch your rotor or whatever. But you jimmy it back and forth to like compress the caliper in and out, and I'll show you guys that in a second. But other than that, man, it takes probably like 5 minutes to do each side. And if you have a Camaro or Brembo brakes that are similar style to the Camaros, you can do it yourself instead of paying a dealer $150, $200 to do it. It's really, really simple. I kid you not. It's the simplest brake job I've ever done in my life. But without further ado, we'll go ahead and get to it, and I'll show you guys what I mean, man. Super simple. Those are some massive brakes, man. My bad, I got sidetracked. But anyways, like I said, Brembo, these are literally the easiest brakes to change. I don't know if all the other big brake brands do the same things, because I haven't had experience with them, like Willwood or Bear Brakes or anything. But these Brembos, they're the simplest brake job. Literally, you have two pins that hold the caliper, or not the caliper, the brake pads in, and you pop those out, and those need to be replaced simply because the retainer nut or whatever that goes on the end of the pin on this side gets crushed in there, and that's what holds the brake pads in there. So you're gonna want to replace those. So when you order this, make sure the brake hardware either comes with it, or you purchase the brake hardware separately and you replace it. Also, this retaining clip that holds these pins in, you want to make sure you get the location correctly, so that, you know, when you go back to reinstall it, you know what you're doing or whatever. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our flathead screwdriver, and it's gonna be kind of hard to see here because it's kind of dark inside, but what you want to do is try to get the flathead screwdriver in between the brake rotor and the brake pad, and you're gonna basically jimmy it back and forth so that the caliper compresses itself. Because when you go to put the new ones back on, you're gonna want all the space that you could possibly get in there, so that they go in there seamlessly, easy, and they just drop right in there. And like I said, be careful not to scratch your rotor. I think this is pretty much all the way compressed. Be careful not to scratch your rotor, because you don't want any dimples or any grooves or anything inside your rotor. that's messing up your brakes or whatever. So what I did last time when I worked on the front, I chose one of these Allen wrenches that is basically small enough to go inside the hole here so that I could push this pin out. I ended up having to switch to a punch. You can use a punch, a smaller screwdriver, but the Allen keys weren't working just because I couldn't get a good hammer bite on it. But anything with a sizable contact point at the end will work. So we're gonna just use this punch these out, which would probably be what you should be using anyway. So we're gonna punch those out, and then we're gonna go ahead and replace the brakes, and then we should be done. So now that you got them punched through, you're gonna want to take like some pliers or anything and continue to try to pull the pin out until you get it all the way out. Alright, and then out comes that little retaining clip. The reason why you want to change these out or get new ones is because there's a little retaining clip, and unfortunately I can't get the camera to focus on it, but there's a retaining clip, if you can see this spinning on the end of it, that gets crushed when you put these pins in. So you don't want to put a crushed one back in there because it won't bite as hard. So you want to replace this pin. These are pretty much useless. Throw them out, throw them away. Get some new hardware. Don't try to take shortcuts. I'm not really sure if it would be detrimental to your brake job or anything like that if you reuse these, but don't even take the chance, just throw them out. So we're gonna go ahead and pull this bottom one out as well, and this thing just falls right out. And like I said, pay attention to how this comes out. It goes this way, and the pins slide on top of these, and this is what holds basically everything together and in line with each other. So like I said, you know, I'm kind of showing you here how this goes in. One pin goes behind here and in this little groove here. One pin goes in this little groove here, down here, and these little triangular pieces point downward. Do your own due diligence. Make sure you pay attention to how this thing comes out, and you'll be good to go. But without further ado, let's go ahead and slide these out. See how easy that was? There's literally no meat left on these things, man. Yeah. Go ahead and slide this other one out. Alright, so we're gonna take the new ones. These are the new ones, these are the old ones, and we're gonna go ahead and throw the brake grease in the holes here, so that, you know, it doesn't, over time, it just lubricates this so that when the brake pads slide in and out of, or on top of these, it doesn't start to squeak or whatever. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now, and then after I do that, I'm going to go ahead and slide those back inside there, and we should be able to button everything up and everything will be good to go. hammer the pin in past this point, and then after that you can go ahead and throw the tire on, do the other side, you're good to go. Like I said, this is the simplest brake job in the world, and I'm sure the other brake companies like Willwood and Bear Brakes probably have a similar process. So this is, like I said, I you know, I don't mind doing brakes on this car because it takes me about 5 minutes to just knock those pins out, slide the new brake pads in, and I'm done. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up, do the other side, and we're done with this brake job. Wait a minute, where you going? Before you leave, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, leave us a like, and hit the notification bell so you get a notification every single time we drop a new video. And always remember, work hard so you can live free.